Our union story is there to be seen. We've won many victories and we've suffered defeats. But as I turn through the pages and look back through time, there's one single question stands out in my mind. Today we may prosper, today we live free. But if it weren't for the union, where would we be? It's our union that defends our rights. But our union's as strong as our will is to fight. For the union is you and the union is me. So stand up and stand by our union.
The union was growing so fast that sometimes new organisers had to jump in at the deep end.
So I'd only been working at the union for a week when the word came through that Park Davis was on strike. Woke up at 6:15, had no breakfast, had a quick shave, smoked another 10 cigarettes, getting out to Carring Bar where the meeting was. Didn't know what I was going to see, whether they was going to hang me or what was going to happen. Got to the meeting and there was about 200 or 300 people from the SDA there who was on strike, and our group of people was about, as I say, the 50 or 60 odd. The delegate introduced me, opened up the meeting, and I vomited down on my shirt and my suit. Had the packet of cigarettes in one hand, that went out into the road. The box of matches went straight after it. That was the last cigarette I ever smoked in my life. The women there felt sorry for me and they took me in and mopped me brow and made me a cup of tea and give me a bit of toast and said, you know, how unfortunate it all was. And I said, well, I'm only a new organiser. I don't know, anything about the award. I've never been shown. I don't know other things. So that was me baptism into me first stoppage.
This union, unlike many others of the time, strove to meet the needs of women and migrant workers for social and wage justice.
It hasn't been a situation where there are women members and there are male members, there are women's issues and there are issues relating to men. There have been industrial issues of members, and those have been vigorously fought regardless of whether they were male or female.
More services were being provided: compensation offices, libraries, social events to look after the workers and families, even when they weren't at work. (1965). One of the union's biggest tests came with the shock election of a Conservative government led by Robert Askin. This government decided to use contract cleaners in schools. The union resisted. The campaign began in April 1966 at Canley Vale High School. On May 4, school cleaners throughout the state stopped work. In Sydney, the town hall was filled to capacity. These school cleaners, these miscellaneous workers, took to the streets and marched on Parliament House.
10,000 people united and become one and marched down George Street and stopped traffic for 2 hours and hit headline news, and probably the only time that a Liberal government capitulated to, change a decision. I think that showed what people could do if they massed together and you had solidarity.
After that battle, the union seemed to get stronger, if anything.
Childcare workers.
Laboratory workers.
Makeup artists.
Artists' models.
CSR sugar and timber workers.
The union grew through amalgamations as it had in the early days. 1967 saw the largest amalgamation to date with the Leather and Allied Trades Union. Like many Missos before, leather workers worked in small factories with poor conditions and little power to improve them.
Maybe 10, 15,
25 people. That was the complement of the factories, and so they'd sack them, you know, on any pretence or anything like that. So it made it that the wages level was pretty low for a skilled trade. And as soon as Ray got on the job, well, they got dramatic increases because we had a pretty good front runner when Ray got in with the Chamber of Manufacturers. He belted the ears off them. And we couldn't do. We didn't have the capabilities or the know-how.
Asbestos kills. The union had covered the workers in the asbestos manufacturing industry since 1929. As it became clear just how dangerous asbestos was, a health and safety struggle began.
The machinery they had was totally inadequate to protect anyone from dust. There was no steps taken to protect them at all. There were festoons of asbestos cobwebs coming down from all the rafters in the factory, hanging out the windows where they'd been blown out by fans. And workers were subject to breathing this dust in there. And the factory was closed down and pronounced unfit for human habitation. My idea is, or my philosophy in relation to asbestosis, unless the worker is 100% protected from the dangers of asbestos, well, he's best not work in the industry at all.
That was one factory, but a whole industry had to be changed. With many years of agitation and information gleaned from all over the world, the union led the fight to recognise the dangers of asbestos and to introduce safe working methods. Industrial issues are important, but the union was committed to look beyond. To truly advance the cause of working people, the union needed to change society, to change the way laws were made, to impact on the way the country was governed. Often the members went to the streets of the nation to put their strong views.
It's not just a matter of getting shorter hours or higher pay. There's more to it than that. I'm not a professional demonstrator. It's only things that I'm interested in and I feel it deserves support. We don't go along like a lot of ratbags. And unions should be concerned about these world events. Those world events are going to affect their members.